Before we start, I just want to thank you for 200 subscribers. If we get to 350 before 2026, I will do an hour-long video on I don't know what, I haven't decided, please don't ask. Naughty Dog are a lot like Nintendo. They're both game companies beginning with the letter N. Also, both companies I do like, but damn it, do they like to push their luck. They also both have at least one franchise they could easily bring back that they just don't. For Naughty Dog, that's obviously Jak and Daxter, and the weird part is, it seemed like Jak and Daxter were PlayStation royalty back in the day, but it just kinda stopped out of nowhere. It's not like there was a game so bad it killed the franchise, it just kinda got forgotten to time. Luckily though, in recent years, Naughty Dog have preserved the PSP games, so every Jak is playable on the PS4 or PS5. Preservation is very important, so I am happy to see that. Even if I do wish they'd do something new as well, but I'll take what I can get. But was the first game the start of a franchise that deserved preservation or termination? To find out, let's dive deep into the controller and play Jak and Daxter, The Precursor's Legacy. Jak and Daxter stars Jak and Daxter, two elf guys who explore a place known as Misty Island. Daxter quickly falls into a dark liquid known as Dark Eco and becomes his persona. To change back, Daxter has to collect power cells alongside Jak and meet the one guy who knows how to change him back. The story is admittedly quite okay. It's just a bare bones reason to collect things. As for the characters themselves, let's start with Jak and Daxter. Jak can't speak, and unfortunately he is quite bland in every sense of the word outside of the design. Jak is clearly meant to be Naughty Dog's own take on Link, and I gotta say, it looks really good. He has the same issues as Link in terms of being very bland, but hey, at least the design stands out. Of course, I, like everyone else, does prefer him in Jak 2 with the more iconic look, and of course having a voice.
He can talk, 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 I can sing!
Moving on to Daxter, he's gonna have something I am now calling the Adam Sandler effect, where people will find him either really funny or really annoying. I don't know the general consensus on Daxter, but I do know that he's the type of character to be in your face a lot, constantly quipping jokes, and I know that can be a bit much for some people and become annoying. There's also Kira. She's a simple yet sweet character. She assists you as a tech girl and she has teleporters to bring you stuff for certain areas. Pretty simple, but she works well in the story. The main thing she'll bring to you is this hover bike, and with this, you can hover on also other stuff. There's also this bird thing she can also send, and for the first bit where you're actually meant to use her, I didn't realise and I did the whole thing without using her. Oops. For the main characters, there's lastly Samos, or Samos, whatever. I don't like him. He's just consistently rude in every way he can, and even when you're doing well and he compliments you, he can't leave it at that. He just has to chat shit.
I've never seen one in such good condition. I can't imagine what the workers wanted with it, but we sure didn't want them to get it. If you keep this success up, nah, you'll still fall short of hero. But keep trying. It's endearing.
I get he's a grumpy old man character, but he's just too mean, I think. Also, Cranky Kong, you have a log on your head at all times. How is your neck still a neck at that point? Now let's talk gameplay. You see, you're given this small island to explore, and not only is it open world, but the game will tell you the basics of what you need to do, like I'll get this many power cells, but you can explore the island at your own pace. The game just isn't that handholdy, and I think that's one of the game's main strengths. Sure, it's not exactly Skyrim or Fallout 4, but for a PS2 game released in 2001, this is insanely cool, and visually the island looks fantastic still. Talking about the visuals, I also have to compliment the cartoony, zany animations that Daxter has. Each area has a set amount of power cells to collect, and once you've interacted with something to do with that power cell, on the pause screen, that's when you know what to do, because it will tell you that once you've interacted with something. The things you do though That can come from all sorts of things like finding precursor orbs and then trading them for said power cell. There's also stuff like herding these animals into a pen, or just doing other menial tasks. Some are even platforming challenges, and I mean, it's a platformer, I would kind of expect that. There's even mini-games and boss fights you can also do. I do like how for this one fishing mini-game though, you have to collect these fish of certain types, but then if you touch an eel because it's poisonous, it makes you immediately lose. Like, not only is that good for making the game challenging, but also I just find that really funny that this eel is so poisonous it can just affect all other fish immediately. Jak himself does control well, minus being noticeably heavy with the jumping, and he's not as fun as he could be to control because of that. Also, the punch being a dash is annoying, and I've got myself killed a few times because of it. I also wish Daxter had more to do within Jak's moves, like he really doesn't do much outside of just yapping and standing there. If anything, I do wish that the dark eco that Daxter jumped in also gave him some new abilities to shake things up. Clearly for this game you are meant to see Jak and Daxter as a collective rather as individual characters, and not giving Daxter any powers really doesn't help that in any way. I mean, I wouldn't have an issue with seeing them as a collective rather than individual characters, but you gotta give me more to work with if that's going to be the case. Like, why should these two be together at all times? You need a reason for that. Ratchet and Clank handles this fine. Clank has abilities that can help Ratchet and extend onto his moveset. Daxter just doesn't have that whatsoever, and it kinda sucks. Also, there's other characters who can get Dark Eco and also gain powers from it, so why didn't Daxter? Jak's moveset as a whole is just pretty simple, and it's not bad whatsoever, but there really isn't anything special here. I have actually heard critique before that Jak as a character in both visuals and personality, as well as his abilities and gameplay, aren't special, and it's a fair case. And some people have even said the game itself isn't that impressive because of that. I definitely recommend this video here by Tarantu Glitchy, I'm hoping I said your name right. It's actually a pretty good review diving into Jak and Daxter 1, and just the fact that it really doesn't do much to stand out. And I mean, look at it this way. Ratchet and Clank, they have all sorts of guns, there's robot attachments for Clank that can do stuff like hover. Sly Cooper, he can learn different abilities from his ancestors. Kratos, big ass blades that are just fused to his arms. What do Jak and Daxter have? I mean, yeah, admittedly, if you look back on the PS1, Crash Bandicoot, he didn't do too much, except for the fact that he had few abilities, sure. But when you look at Crash Bandicoot's spin attack, it had quite a few uses for it. And even then, Crash had a heavy personality to go along with the simpler gameplay. Jak and Daxter just doesn't have that. There's also other games from the PS1 days that definitely were trying more to make their characters stand out. I mean, you got stuff like Spyro, Glover, Pac-Man in Pac-Man World, Klonoa. Jak and Daxter just blends in whether you look back at the past or at the future games of the PS2. If we ever do get more Jak and Daxter content, I hope they not only remake the first game, but I hope they change a lot just so that Jak and Daxter can have more to stand out as characters, both mechanically and personality wise. Jak just isn't a big standout character like Mario. He's more like a Hat Kid, where they control well, sure, but they just don't have much going on. I think the fact that after this first game, the sequel changed literally everything about what the franchise was, that does say a lot. Also, him having a voice and having anger-based abilities, I mean, come on. Yeah, they actually gave him a personality where the first game didn't have a personality for him, and that just makes it even clearer. There is another mechanic in this game I haven't mentioned yet, but it does help improve Jak's kit quite a bit. What is that though? Well, it's a temporary upgrade, but it's better than nothing. But what is it? Well, we have Dark Eco, so it's safe to assume there's other forms of Eco too? I mean, that makes sense, right? There's a few types of Eco you'll be able to use throughout this adventure. First up, Blue Eco. This speeds you up a bit and also allows you to activate doors and bridges if you have Eco inside of you at that point once you get to the door or bridge you need. It's basically like a key. There's Red Eco that lets you damage enemies a lot easier and of course damage enemies you normally can't. And then there's Yellow Eco which gives you fireballs. All pretty useful. There's also the Green Eco, but that's just a way of refilling your health. and it's not really much of a power-up compared to the other three, but I should probably mention it. I do wish there was something you could do to build on the moveset throughout the game, like give Daxter some abilities, because he doesn't really do much. Or hell, give Jak a magic staff maybe? And you could have like different spells, I don't know, do something. Overall, Jak and Daxter is a strong 7 out of 10 game with some issues. It's really just nothing too amazing or special. It's definitely a fun time, I recommend it. But it needed something more to really be legendary. So overall, yeah, the game's good. The issue is Jak and Daxter, the Precursor's legacy, just doesn't have enough to leave behind its own legacy. I recommend picking up a controller and playing Jak and Daxter, the Precursor's legacy.